So, thanks Carolina Spacie for donating. Let's just have a look into Rhubarb here. I made a big recording, but it didn't save, so we're just going to have to go back over this.
A short walk east from my hut, I find another wild edible plant called Rumix immunocephalus. Its common name is desert rhubarb, or wild rhubarb. It grows in an area that receives a lot of drainage from rains, and the soil is much softer than that on the hills. In early winter, the purple leaves of the plant emerge from tubers beneath the soil. As they grow, the leaves turn a deep green color. In early spring, the plants are nearly fully grown and a flower stalk begins to form. This is the time that I like to harvest the juicy leaf stalks. During days in the spring, the weather is already hot and dry. This is when I look for desert rhubarb specifically to quench my thirst. Desert rhubarb is high in calcium oxalates, especially in the leaves. Consuming a lot of calcium oxalate crystals can cause some medical problems for humans. One common problem is kidney stones that can result from calcium oxalate crystals accumulating in the urine. Over the years, I've eaten a few different plants of the Rumix genus, and I've never had a kidney stone, but I only eat them occasionally and only in the spring when they are naturally available. The leaf stalk of desert rhubarb is said to contain less calcium oxalates, so that is the only part that should be eaten of this particular species. I read that desert rhubarb is a good source of vitamin A, but I only eat it for the water content. Then I discard the stalk fibers and leaf on the ground. It also has a delicious sour flavor that is desirable on hot days. Although the roots are not edible, they do have medicinal purposes and can also be used as a dye. By late spring, the plants have completely withered as they await the following winter to grow again.
Yeah, so the video didn't save, but I guess this article is enough to go back over because it was pretty much the informational part of the video. I also was saying, because it didn't save, I had all my memory full, and I was saying thanks to Peter for sending that video, the David Icke one. It was a good one. So let's go back over this. So may as well go up from the bottom. This is in the conclusion. So rain is one of the 4 compounds. Actually, we better go back up. We need to progress through it in the right order. So they are playing like a modem you're going to read about in a minute is, one of these 4. Well, what do they got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here at the start they mention. They talk mostly about a modem, and then there's a whole section on that and a tiny bit on rain at the end and Danthrone. But you're going to see a lot on the Amodin. It's got a big section at the start, and it's affecting the water pathway in the brain, a protein in the water pathway. So it's like a really fine thing. And I was talking about how I made tinctures out of broccoli years ago, and that managed to work without it getting like rank. And I was just thinking, I wonder if you could even make rhubarb tincture because, like for instance, it could ferment easy. I don't know, I just see it fermenting easy. It's like it would just break down real quickly, like the water parts of it, of that stalk. Or you would crush it maybe to put it in the tincture. And I don't know, it seems volatile. And when you're making tinctures, you got to think about like the flash points of molecules. Like I was talking in the video I created before about how my tinctures, a lot of them went sweet over time, and I think even the broccoli, I thought it was going to go a bad way, but then it ended up going sweet. And I had them for like several years, so it was interesting. Some sort of like sugaring process happens as well, so it goes sweeter. But I was just thinking about, I wonder if you could make a tincture from rhubarb. I'm going to try, but I have to think about how to do it. But like, do you soak it a long time? Do you not, like, I would probably do it, crush it and do it quickly first and check if that worked. Do you even crush it? So this is a good article to help you think about that as well, because you're definitely going to be getting a modin out of it by the looks of it. And you have to just think like, are you going to get all these compounds here out of it? And you know, that's why an article like this that talks about it chemically can help you figure that out. The extraction, and then, you know, when you're taking the tincture, you've got to obviously know your body. You know, are you in, like, what sort of state are you in? Like, if you, even if you've had too much of any substance like coffee or something, or, you know, it's going to affect the absorption. Anyway, let's get into just these chemicals here. See, they start here with a modin a lot. There's a big section on it. So here's the things like that it affects as well. The main things they also mention in this article. It's anti-tumoric and against that B-amyloid of Alzheimer's, and intracerebral hemorrhage and ischemic stroke, and central nervous system diseases, just generally. It's like a fine water oil. You have to understand like how sugars turn into oils. You know what I mean? Like in nature it goes from saccharide, a simple sugar, to polysaccharide, and an oil is even more like a poly. So here they're mentioning specifically these ones from the Chinese medical system, but still it's just rhubarb really. You're going to find a lot of these effects through all of the rhubarbs, or, you know, all the edible ones, all the ones friendly to us. And there's a variety, you know. Again, they've just mentioned those main ones, and just see, this is good because you can get that extra information like this, you know, like chemical names and stuff. It's a dihydroxy methyl, so you can understand then if you know what methyls do, you know. So just in layman's terms, antivirus, anti-inflammatory, anti-tumor, antioxidant, and now they start talking about it in each section here. Alright, so it's mainly that amodin, crispanthanol, and rain. That's what I was saying to you before. Very neuroprotective, so I'd be looking to get them out for a tincture, to call my tincture, you know, neuroprotective tincture, or something like that. Well, they're stopping hypoxia and necrosis. I didn't even read that before. That's crazy, against necrosis, you know? The death of body tissue. So, definitely a longevity substance for the brain. Okay, this is where they start talking about amodin a lot. Aquaporin belongs to a member of membrane protein family and in the water channel. They were saying, I don't know if that's in this part, but I read that before. Yeah, water channel protein. Yeah. That's amodin, and I think the others as well. Depressing the levels of tumor necrosis factor and interleukin. Glutamate induced apoptosis. Oops. Oh. Sorry, we'll get back there. Also for edema and brain water ratio, and some other teas can affect the same channel and could inhibit neuronal apoptosis and expression. Increasing B cell reduced glutamate induced apoptosis. Oh, I've done it again. Yeah, so plays a role in cerebral edema and brain water balance. That's all I was trying to find. And increase the expression of neurotrophic factor and phosphorylation, which is something you get from the mushrooms as well, like magic mushrooms. Remember, they're full phosphorylated indoles. This now I do think I have heard of it. Before I said I haven't heard of it, but I have heard of it. I remember reading about activin before now, which belongs to transforming growth factor in the transduction system superfamily and exerts neuroprotective effect. Now this compound, so that was all like amodin, and then this one and rain, they're kind of like similar, doing similar pathways, I think. Well, this one is the one that's this one is the one that attenuating levels of nitrate. Oh, it's saying could suppress no associated neuronal cell death through attenuating the levels of nitrate and decrease cleave caspase protein expression. Oh, antioxidant. Decrease neurological deficits, infarct volume, brain edema, and blood-brain barrier permeability. I don't know what they're saying here, I still don't understand it. Something about leucine. Attenuate, what's here? could inhibit inflammatory response by attenuating the expression of endoplasmic reticulum, stress-related factors, including that glucose-regulated protein and another protein for binding. Oh, here we go, rain. There's this other compound that's supposedly rich in the rhubarb. Could decrease this, which I have no idea what that is. Let's have a look. Like a fatty buildup, maybe. Oh, oxidative stress. Oh, okay. Polyunsaturated fatty acid peroxidation. To do with peroxidation, yeah. Oh, okay. And glutathione, which is a hormone of the thyroid. It's a thyroid hormone, glutathione. You can also get it in avocados. For the thyroid, and it just reduced infarction area in rats. Wait, what is that? What do they say that is? Tissue death, yeah, that's what I thought. Like the spreading, so it reduces the spreading. Infarction area. Let's just say amodin, rain, amodin, and this one this time. Phisone here on the end. Regulated this amino acid and lipid energy and lipid metabolic disturbance. By increasing the plasma levels in your blood of lipids, creatine, tyrosine, urine levels of taurine and tyrosine, glycine glutamate, methionine glucose, choline glycine and proline, glycine, and choline and proline glucose, so that they can alleviate neurological impairment and cerebral infarction area and inhibit neuronal apoptosis. Reduced thrombolysis cause brain microvascular basement membrane impairment. It's another mouthful. What's this level? Increasing the level of type 4 collagen and laminin, and then decrease the intracranial hemorrhage ratio. That all sounds pretty good. Something about tuberculosis there as well. And a synaptic cleaning. That's all I remember reading about that. It says something about, like, it's a really fine, like, aguous protein is what I'm guessing. So how to say it in layman terms. Alleoamodin, for instance, And to the gene level, which is pro-apoptic gene associated with oxidative stress. So it's just an antioxidant there. And something about the blood-brain barrier, improving and maintaining the integrity, and reduced astrocyte, don't know what that is. Specialized glial cell, oh okay. That outnumber neurons by over 5-fold. So you get more astrocyte glial cells than neurons, times 5. And the rhubarb is maintaining integrity of the blood-brain barrier and reducing this. What? Must be part of the inflammatory response. Because here it's saying end feet process swelling. Traumatic brain injury. Again, same thing, blood-brain barrier, anti-glutamate, antioxidative stress. So it's therapeutic benefits in those areas. Right, so Amodin is reducing. Oh no, I did it again. That's annoying. So inhibiting glutamate excitotoxicity from glutamate. So it says glutamate needs to be present at the right concentrations in the right place at the right time for memories and learning. So it's stopping it from, it's saying it's inhibiting it in its excitotoxic state. So too much of it. That amodin and rhubarb polysaccharides, so they must be polysaccharides, which is a long-chain sugar, played the opposite role in brain CA2 level. I don't know what that is. A gene, carbonic anhydrase 2, protein, a coding gene. That's interesting. It's a coding gene. So you can see it's getting in there, down to the genes. Increased levels, look at this, rhubarb and rain. So rain is directly associated with glutathione, which is the thyroid hormone. So rhubarb's rain, that compound rain there, has improved the activities of SOD, which is, what was it again? Dismutase, I think. And CAT, which I don't know what CAT was. They should mention it here somewhere. Damn it. Anyway, to increase the level of glutathione. So that's a good thing anyway. NAK at taptase and SOD. I'm pretty sure this was no, it's not going to bring up the right definition. Pretty sure the SOD was dismutase. I read it before. It's even affecting mitochondria-mediated pathways, so, and the apoptosis, that danthrone. So that's another compound, remember? So rain was good for glutathione. And danthrone, this one's something to do with mitochondria-mediated pathways. Again, apoptosis, endonuclease, enzymes. Right. Yeah, so it stops the glioblastoma, glioblastoma, sorry, multiform. So it's anti-tumoral. Expression of focal adhesion kinase. Decreasing expression of DNA damage and repair genes. Something to do with breast cancer here. Can't even understand it. Barely understand it. Yeah, look, reported to inhibit glioma cells. So that's alleomodin now, which is a different compound again, that amodin. So that's no longer danthrone. Activating laminin. Oh, let's have a look what that is. Nuclear lamins are fibrous proteins, providing structural function and transcriptional regulation. And Alzheimer's as well. So Alzheimer's with the is about the plaques of that B amyloid and neurofibrillary tangles. It says, I'm running out of space again. It's against that as well.